I don't usually get on here and talk, but I think hearing people talk is something that's very important when it comes down to being a producer. When I say talk, I mean like people passing on the wisdom. Yeah, you can tell people about how to make a beat and teach them how to make a beat, but realistically, we're all doing this because we know how to make beats already. It's more so about the business of this stuff, or the outside world of it that we don't really know about. And I think that's the thing that we need to pass down to each other the most. So I want to give 6 pieces or 7 pieces of advice to upcoming producers that watch my videos, to make sure that everybody else straight. My first piece of advice is to just start. I remember being a producer. I remember when I first came in the game, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just making beats. I was just making music. My clap is over here. My snare is over here. Like, the arrangement is terrible. The arrangement is poor. But at the same time, man, it was important to make those mistakes, because either way it go, you're going to have to make a mistake. It's either now or later. You got to just start. I didn't have no plugins. I did not get plugins until I just got this computer, which is the beginning of this YouTube channel. I didn't have any plugins until the beginning of this YouTube channel. Or let's say more so about like RC20 or Analog Labs, Portal, stuff like that. I just started using that when it came down to this YouTube channel. I was still making music. I was still putting out music. I was still, doing everything that I wanted to do, but I just didn't have it the way that I wanted to do it. I will say it made me more comfortable. It made me more confident, but you still got to know how to work with limited tools. And that's what's cool about being a producer, cool about being an artist. It's not about having everything in the world. It's about not having much and then making something out of it. And I always talk about this, you have a banana and a piece of duct tape, and you able to make $100 million worth of art out of it. That's what being a producer is. That's what being a painter is. It's getting limited tools and being able to make whatever you want out of it. Iron Man made that first Iron Man suit in a cave. You got to be able to do things like that. You also, number 2, you got to be able to be unapologetically yourself / set the vibe. A lot of times when producers hit me up, or engineers hit me, not engineers, whenever producers or artists hit me up, I'll always be like, oh, what vibe y'all going for? What you trying to get into? Instead of making what I wanted to make and sending them what I think they would sound good on, I'm asking them what vibe they wanted, or But you got to be able to create your own vibe, be able to create your own wave, and that's what make you a producer and not a beat maker. Sometimes I get into studio sessions and I'm just the one that's creating the vibe. Or I even go to photo shoots, or I'll go model in a lot of these places. I get there and I realize they don't know what to do next. People don't know what to do next. You got to be able to embrace it yourself. Quincy Jones turned Michael Jackson into the Michael Jackson that we know now. He changed his sound. You have to be able to see an artist and tweak their sound a little bit. You can't just make it around them, because what value do you bring if they just it's their sound, it's their wave, it's their vibe? No, what do you bring to them? What do you bring to them? You got to be able to make a difference. Cardi sound different on a Pierre Bourne beat than he do on a Filthy beat. Don't send him a beat that sound like Filthy. Send him a beat that sound like you. Send him a beat that sound like you. And you got to collaborate. That's step 3. You got to know how to collaborate, man. Like, that's something that I was always against. When I came into the game, I already had like me a group of friends, and my group of friends made music, and we kind of looked at it like, man, fuck everybody else, bro. It's us. We gonna do this by ourselves. And we would see people just like working together, and realistically, it's just putting us on the island, and it's not always a good thing to put yourself on the island. That's also one of the laws of power, one of the 48 laws of power. Isolation isn't always a good thing. A lot of the times you just singling yourself out. So I took all that time just being in my own corner by myself. I didn't have any producer friends. I didn't have any rapper friends. And I'm a producer out of necessity. I'm an engineer out of necessity. I learned how to do all of those things through isolation, but I would have made it a lot farther if I would have started working with other people sooner. If I would have collaborated with engineers. And also, you can't have too much on your plate, because I would be sitting there making the beat, writing my song, then I would have to engineer my song, and I still do this till this day. Engineer the beat, engineer the song, or, I'm not using the right terms, but you get what I'm trying to say. I would have everything from beginning to end I would do, even down to the photo shoots, even down to the album cover. Everything is by me, which is cool, which is good. It's great that you know how to do those type of things. But it can get to a point where you will get further if you just have a collaboration. Actually work with a photographer that's good at doing their job. Work with the engineer that's good at doing their job. Work with, somebody that know how to mix and master that's good at doing their job, and producers that's good at doing their job. And also, when you work with other producers, you have twice the chance of getting a collaboration, or not collaboration, of getting a placement. You have twice the chance of getting a placement. And you never know who the other people know. It's just networking. You never know who they know. You never know who they need to reach. And you just be helpful, play a part. And you got to take breaks. That's number 4. Take breaks. Because when you work a full-time job and you're working 40 hours a week, you need a break sometimes. You go and take your PTO. You might take a day off. You might take some time off. A lot of the times you will burn your ears out. You will start making the same thing over and over. And I know you see a lot of these producers online that's making 100 beats a week and 50 beats a week. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to be those people. It's quality over quantity. You don't have to do that. That's their full-time job. A lot of us, that's not our full-time job yet. So you have to take breaks. You have to relax. You have to understand what you're preparing yourself to do. Like, look at LeBron James. LeBron James not playing the full 48. Maybe he doing the playoffs, but you're not doing the full 48. The reason he can play the full 48 in the playoffs is because the rest of those 82 games in a season, he might have took a game off. He might have sat on the bench for a couple of minutes. He might have took a rest. Load management. You got to look at yourself like that, and you got to treat your ears like that. And you also got to learn from the past. That's step 5. When I say learn from the past, I mean look at all the older producers. And this is something that I really take serious. When it come down to being a producer, being in this music stuff, you have to look at the past and you have to study it. And you have to love it. You can't look at the past. Like, I saw the On the Radar and somebody played some older music. I don't remember fully, but I just know he was like, "Oh man, no, I don't listen to that. I don't make those type of beats, or I don't like that type of stuff. That's that unk stuff." But it's like at the same time, bro, these are the people that brought us here. We're going to be those people one day. We need those people. Imagine somebody go and do 20 years. You go and start a new job. Somebody start a new job. You start a new job, and it's a guy that been there for 20 years. You're like, oh, he's been here for 20 years. I'm not gonna listen to anything he says. He's old. I'm not gonna listen to nothing. We're starting a whole new vibe. You gonna realize how quick that shit burns out. Who comes in the game? Who do we see that come in the game and say, fuck all the old heads, and it works? It doesn't. It doesn't. That's why you see people go and hang around the Rick Rubin. That's why you see people go and hang around people like Jay-Z. If you Anthony Edwards, you gotta go check in with Michael Jordan and learn how to improve your game, because Michael Jordan set the tone for you. He opened up that path for you, and don't cut yourself from that knowledge. Like, one of my favorite albums is the Black Album. Listening to the way that Timbaland produced those songs, listening to the way that Rick Rubin put his input on those songs, I like listening to that. And the Black Album came out the year I was born. You know, I like listening to Thriller. I like listening to the older Michael Jackson songs. We have to keep learning from that type of stuff. There's only so many things that you can do that's new. Our ears aren't ready for completely new things. You can go and make a complete new idea, rearrange everything, change the beat. But how many people are really going to be ready to hear that? We're not ready for that. So you have to slowly ease that type of thing in. And you got to switch your sound up, which is number 6. Switch your sound up sometime. You can't always use the same drums over and over again. Every song, you should try to make different drums. Use different drums. Because every song got different vibes to them. No two songs are the same. No two songs should be the same. Use different sounds. And just, different perks, and just one by one. In order to get a whole new sound, all it takes is for one new sound of percussion. One new hi-hat. One new snare. Leave everything else the same. You don't want to overdo it, but just use one new sound, and it will rearrange the entire beat. If you're hearing all these weird ass noises, that's my dog. I can't control that. And number 7, my final note will be just to study, bro. Just study. I already said it. Study the past, study the future, just study. Constantly. Like, you don't want to be a consumer. You're a creator. You can't do both. You can't be a creator and a consumer, So you can't just sit here and watch other people all the time, or just, you can't watch other people, but you have to just study. Make studying your new entertainment. When I say study, I'm saying listening to music. Pay attention to the way that the beat is set up. Pay attention to the way that the beat is arranged. Pay attention to what artist is working with what artists and how they move. Study everything. Pay attention to everything. Instead of learning things about social media and what's going on the internet and these funny videos and the TikTok ban, and TikTok is unbanned, and then now you gotta watch this, and now you gotta watch. You're just a consumer of all media. When I go to my Twitter, it's mainly music. When I go to Pinterest, it's just things that's keeping me focused. Stay around things that's constantly keeping you focused. If you go on and watching stuff like these YouTubers streaming, go and watch somebody streaming making a beat. Don't just watch people stream and just hang out at each other's house. Don't do that. That's not good. You can do that when you're taking a break, but that's not going to help you stay focused. What I learned about myself is I like playing Call of Duty. If I turn on a video of guys playing Call of Duty, that's going to make me get up and play Call of Duty. It don't matter what I'm doing. I can say, all right, I'm about to sit down and make 5 beats, and in the background, because I have to have something going on in the background. In the background, I'm about to watch a video of Call of Duty. If I sit there and every time I look up and I see people playing Call of Duty, I'm slowly going to start playing Call of Duty. But when I do that with a beat video, sometimes I just put up my own videos. It keeps me focused. It keeps me locked in. Like, it's like micro learning. Constantly play that in the house. I'm always playing other YouTubers in the house. I'm always playing them so I can study them. But you do not want to become a consumer. But yeah, that's all I got to say.